I'm sorry for everything that happened, Michael. Sarah and I had been trying to get in touch with you for a long time, but the Great Wave made it impossible to find you. Now I know why. As a matter of fact, she went out to take that note to your house. I haven't seen her since. Tell me, did you find Sarah? Did she tell you she was coming here?
Sarah? I'm sorry, but I just found this handwritten note on the door. That's all.
Of course, forgive me. You already told me that you were blanked. You don't remember her. Sarah is my wife. Emily and she were close friends. In fact, they ran the Beechwood Oracle bookstore together, right below your apartment. That's how you started working with us at the New Truth. And the two of you, Emily and you, became like family to us. I want you to know that what happened to Emily affected us deeply, Michael. Sarah was devastated. We could hardly bring ourselves to speak to you at the time. I'm so sorry for what happened to her.
What happened to her?
What the hell are you talking about?
Blanked.
Oh, God. Don't tell me you don't remember that either. Emily died, Michael.
But that's impossible.
I'm sorry to be the one to make you relive that hell. You yourself told Sarah and me on the phone, a little while before you returned home. It happened while the two of you were in Japan, scarcely a few days before the Great Wave hit. At the paper, we sent you on an assignment to do a photo essay on those strange lights that had been sighted in the sky over Tokyo. So you got all your photography equipment together and set off right away. Emily went with you. You two decided to use the trip as a chance to work on your marriage, which had been in trouble for a long time. You were in bad shape, Michael. Your financial problems, her miscarriages, your violent, self-destructive nature. Emily couldn't take it anymore. You were putting her through too much back then.
Things are not going well between us, Michael. You know that.
It's only a rough patch. You'll see.
It's all your fault!
You have to get on top of this, Michael. It's destroying both of us. I'm afraid of you.
I can't help it. It's that demon. You know I can't help it.
From what you told us, things were getting better. After so many years, both of you were starting to rediscover each other.
Everything will be different. Remember that vacation we took to the beach? When we were getting to know each other? Everything will go back to the way it was.
Promise me.
I promise.
Until one night in your hotel, Emily started to feel sick. It all happened very fast. She was having fainting spells, vomiting, running a fever. You took her to the nearest hospital where she was admitted immediately.
Emily, what's happening? Emily! Emily!
And a few hours later, they told you she was dead. They wouldn't even let you see her body. They wouldn't let you see her. The Japanese authorities hustled you off on the next plane out. It was all very strange and disconcerting. And the very night you arrived, the Great Wave hit.
Oh, Emily. Now I remember it. I remember everything.
I remember her pale, haggard face when she took my hand. Don't worry. It's nothing. Everything will be all right, she was saying, while they were wheeling her deep into the hospital. And she waved goodbye to me, forcing a smile to cover her fear. And then I saw it. I swear I could see how time was stopping. Little by little, in her eyes.
Patient zero?
Emily can't be dead. She talks to me. I've been hearing her voice for some time now. You must think I've lost my mind.
From the little we were able to talk to you before you got back, we could see that her death hit you terribly hard, Michael. You felt extremely guilty for the way you treated her those last few years. You said you would never be able to forgive yourself. It's possible that the pain warped your mind, but it's also possible that what is happening to you is real.
If Emily died before the Great Wave, how can what's happening to me be real?
Let me tell you something. In spite of the catastrophe, at the New Truth, we've never stopped working. For Sarah and for me, this newspaper is our life. And since the Great Wave, our contacts and confidential sources haven't stopped bringing us the most incredible and chilling information you could imagine.
Is there a cure?
Thousands, no, millions of unexplained phenomena are taking place simultaneously all over the world, Michael. We're living through the strangest and most confusing times in our history, and any hypothesis, no matter how crazy, must be taken into consideration, even what you just told me. There's no question that something extraordinary is happening all over the world because of the Great Wave, the emergence of the dissolved, and our gradual approach to the dead synchronicity point.
What the hell is a dead synchronicity point?
Dead synchronicity? What's that?
It's very difficult to explain, Michael. We're still so short of information. But I will tell you one thing. Time is running out. The Great Wave triggered a landslide of death and destruction that's accelerating by the day. And the end will be absolutely devastating.
Look around you, Chris. It's impossible for the situation to get worse.
If the theory about the approach of the dead synchronicity point is true, the future that awaits us will make everything we've seen up to now seem like a walk in the park, Michael. The arrival of the dead synchronicity point will mean the end of the world as we know it. The end of the laws of nature, the laws of physics, the very meaning of existence. And with them, of course, the end of the human species on the face of the Earth. Our inability to adapt will wipe us out in a matter of minutes. And indeed, in some cases, it's already happening. But the good news is that if this hypothesis is correct, the very nature of this anomaly could also allow us to reverse the situation.
Reverse the situation? You mean avoid the future you're talking about? Avoid the consequences of the Great Wave? Is that possible?
Of course it is. How can I explain it to you? No, not yet. It would be too complex for you to understand, and I don't want to create any false hope. I can't tell you anything more for the time being. We need more information, more sources, and we need them urgently. Time is running out, in every sense of the word.
The dissolved. That horrible disease.
Yes, the fate of those poor devils. That's the cruelest and saddest part of this story. From reliable sources, we've been able to find out that while it is true the Great Wave multiplied the number of dissolved drastically, a few early cases of dissolution were actually detected hours, even days before the catastrophe.
What? There were cases of the dissolved before the Great Wave?
Yes, Michael. Just a handful of victims scattered across the globe. But the timing is significant. What's more, people have told us shocking stories about those victims.
I could tell you one. Colin, the only child of the family that took care of me in the refugee camp, is a dissolved. Just a few hours ago, in a deep trance, he shouted out my name, insisting that he needed to talk to me. He kept saying that he wanted to give me a message from Emily.
Good God, Michael. And what was that message?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I will. His condition is very serious, and I have to hurry.
If only we had more information about the disease, what it is, where it came from. If only we knew a little bit more about those strange underground highways they talk about so much during their trances. We need more information. At the New Truth, all we have are a few eyewitness reports here and there, and a handful of tests for detecting the disease that we were able to steal from one of the cleanup brigades. And that's not very much when you're trying to put together a puzzle as obscure and complicated as this one.
Yes, the Great Wave. People have been telling me about it since the moment I woke up.
Everyone talks about it, but no one really knows what it is. Did you know that the catastrophe didn't just strike here, but all over the world? They keep us isolated and misinformed. But that's the truth. The Great Wave didn't just destroy this city. It affected the entire planet. And the most surprising thing is that it all happened simultaneously, at the exact same moment everywhere on Earth. Isn't that amazing? There's never been an official account of the catastrophe. They don't want to tell us. But at the New Truth, we know a lot of things they don't want us to know.
They? Who are they?
The elite, the army, the shadow government, whoever is in control at any particular moment. They're determined to maintain the power structures of the old world by any means. The irony is, for the moment, any notion of order or control is absurd. The rules of the game have changed completely, and the entire world is slipping through their fingers. They're disoriented and frightened, and they'll do anything to prop up the old system. That's what makes them so dangerous. But information weakens them, makes them vulnerable. And that's why we have to keep investigating, Michael. It's our duty to uncover the truth.
I need answers too, Chris. Where can I find the information you need? How can I help you?
A few days ago, one of our confidential sources in the Army contacted the New Truth. He told us he had a bombshell in his hands, an official report of the results of all the investigations conducted to date on the Great Wave, the Dissolved, and the Dead Synchronicity Point. It's a real gold mine, Michael. The answer to our prayers.
And where is that report now?
The same day she left the note at your house, Sarah was supposed to meet our source at the same place we always meet people who cooperate with the New Truth, which had been the safest place in the city up to that point, the sewers.
Of course.
But she never came back, Michael. I was hoping she'd found you. Or perhaps some problem had come up in the sewers, and she'd taken refuge in your apartment.
Don't worry, Chris. Sarah will be fine.
Yes, I know. Sarah is a strong woman and very resourceful. I know she can take care of herself. If you want to help us, Michael, get us that report. I'm trapped in this basement in this wheelchair, but I know that you'll be able to get it for me. It's vitally important that we get it. That's where we'll find the answers to all our questions. Even answers about Emily and her messages. Follow the trail of Sarah and our source. Go down into the sewers and find some clue that can lead us to them. But be very careful down there. It's dangerous.
Dangerous? You just told me the sewers were the safest place in the city.
Indeed, they were. That's why they became the perfect hiding place for the Dissolved and their families. For some time now, the Army has been reinforcing its dragnets for catching the Dissolved hiding in the sewers. If they find you in one of those tunnels, they'll shoot first and ask questions later.
I'll be fine.
Take this. You'll need something to guide you. The city sewer system is a veritable labyrinth.
Map.
I've marked the exact spot where the meeting was supposed to take place. It's a huge subterranean gallery where several pipes converge. Michael, please, bring me that report. And
Aye,
for the
Captain.
love of God, bring Sarah back to me safe and sound.
I'll do it.
Try. Let's see if there's anything around here.
Locked with a key. I'm afraid that Chris doesn't trust anyone, and the way things turned out after the Great Wave, he's doing the right thing. Covered with scrawled notes, open books, and dirty coffee mugs. I get the impression that Chris lives, works, eats, and sleeps at this enormous desk.
Probably.
Dozens of documents and newspaper clippings about conspiracies, attacks, inexplicable occurrences. Looking at the topics of all this material, I can imagine what the editorial line of The New Truth is. The entire basement is filled with books, albums, file cabinets, and photos. You can even find the odd exotic object in all this. Sarah and Chris accumulated enough material to fill a museum of curiosities.
Let's see.
Oh Lord, I'm completely exhausted. I feel like I've been wandering around this new world for centuries, but I can't stop to rest now. Not until Chris and I have uncovered the secrets in that Army report.
Alright, let's go. Alright, so that's that. I'll take a picture of someone turn that breaker off.
Great. The circuit breaker I activated is tripped, and it's the only one that seems to work. It'll probably only hold for a little while.
Alright, get back upstairs. Exit. Bingo.
I have an excellent view of the hospital compound and the fuel depot from here. Shame the camera doesn't have any film in it.
Damn it. I had a funny feeling that's what was gonna happen, but Here we go.
Here goes. I'll use the map Chris gave me as a guide. These tunnels are a real labyrinth. This is the place marked on the map, the place where Sarah and her confidential source were found.
Oh.
They wouldn't be of any use to me. These bullets have already been fired. These empty shell casings are evidence that a shooting occurred in these sewers. It's a shoe, trying to stay afloat in the stinking sludge of the sewer. From here, it looks like a castaway waiting for help. It's of no use. I'm afraid that there's not much I can do for it now. It's a subway train. I don't get it. If they boarded up the subway stops and shut down the subway service, what the devil are those trains carrying? And where are they going? This is where that river of filthy water ends. It's funny. Despite the nauseating stench it gives off, there's something hypnotic about that viscous green waterfall. Dozens of dark tunnels converge in this area, most of them closed or inaccessible from here. This place must be the true subterranean heart of the city. That skylight leading to the outside is the only lighting in this place. The combination of the architecture, light and water, give this place an unearthly appearance. It looks like a cathedral built inside the sewers. Damn it. More of that macabre graffiti. This pestilent city is oozing blood from every pore. The trail disappears, drip by drip, into that tunnel.
Alright, down the tunnel we go.
It's an enormous accumulation of trash, mud, and plant matter that has built up in the years since this pipe was last cleaned. Ugh, there's a stench coming from inside it, even worse than the rest of the sewer.
Dead body.
I've been able to remove some of the waste, but I won't be able to remove the rest of it with my hands. This stuff is too snarled up. Let's see what the devil's so tangled up in here. My God! Sarah! A bullet's torn off her jaw, but her face is still recognizable. Poor Chris. How am I going to break this to him?
USB drive.
One bullet hit her in the jaw, and another went through part of her neck. There's no doubt that Sarah bled to death while using the last of her strength, trying to drag herself out of here. Thick bars at the end of the pipe block the opening to the outside. Extremely hard and solid, I'm afraid.
I can talk to Chris. He ain't gonna be happy. Thinks he's gonna be greatly depressed. Chris, please have some film. I need film.
Hello, Chris.
Michael, you're back already?
Yep.
Tell me, did you find Sarah? Did you
Yep.
bring the report she went out to get?
I brought the report. Here it is.
Oh, that's great news. I knew you could do it. Ah, damn it. I should have guessed. I was expecting a paper dossier, not an electronic document. We have a serious problem, Michael.
Problem? What's wrong?
We're not in the old world anymore, and access to electricity is a privilege very few people have nowadays. Now, the good news is that I was able to save my old laptop from the Great Wave.
But you don't have electricity.
The bad news is that we don't have anywhere to plug it in.
What can we do?
If we want to find out the secrets in this report, we need electricity. Bring me a generator with enough fuel, and we'll find all the answers we need, Michael. But tell me, please, did you find Sarah? Why didn't she come back with you? What happened?
I'm sorry, Chris. Sarah's dead.
God. But what?
It looks like she and your confidential source were ambushed and shot by soldiers in the sewers. I found Sarah's body in one of the graded tunnels, near the refugee camp. I took the report out of her hands, but I had to leave her there.
Oh, my poor Sarah. She didn't deserve that. Please, Michael, don't leave her body to rot in the sewers. I beg of you. Do it for me. For Sarah. For Emily.
I'll do what I can, Chris. I promise you.
Now, get me that electric generator. Time is running out.
I know exactly what.
What do we have here?
Please, film. Film?
As one would expect, there are only old magazines, stacks of paper, and outdated printing supplies here. No, wait a minute. It looks like there's also film for instant cameras here.
Got it.
Perfect. Now I can load the camera. The tab that closes the film compartment is broken. I can't use it like this. I need something to hold it in place, or else the film will keep falling out. Tie the wire to the camera? I'm afraid I'm going to have to be a bit more subtle if I want to repair this broken tab. Before leaving his house, I shoot a furtive glance at Chris. He's gazing at Sarah's photo in silence, completely lost in thought. Maybe I should have lied about what happened to her. Told him that she got away, leaving the report behind, that she's safe and sound, and just waiting for the right moment to come back. But the truth is a poisonous inheritance from the old world. What good does it do to know it, if it snatches away your last hope?
Crap.
Oh no. It's like, well, every...
Yes. Got it.
Good God, I think I'm starting...
Nah, your mind's already gone, dude.
It's worth a fortune. That's why those goons won't let it out of their sight. Ugh. It's completely coated with rust and mildew. This structure seems more like a gigantic penicillin culture than a water tank.
I feel like...
This plastic bag is designed to hold the remains of the dissolved, so I'm not putting that inside there right now. Why would I want to do...
I don't know.
It's just a piece of paper with writing on it. How could I use it with this? It's the note
I think that's where I gotta put Sarah's body.
This corpse deserves a decent burial, not to be put in a dirty, used plastic bag. Oh my God. After being exposed to water and dampness for so long, Sarah's remains look positively Dante-esque. This corpse...
Yeah.
Those bastards, and they wouldn't be of any use. This humbled colossus now watches over the sleep of the dark stars. Or at least that's what I'd like to think. I hope you can find a way to forgive me someday. And it's signed with a pair of illegible initials.
I need something that's sticky. Or... something new up here, right?
Great. It's a hell of a drop. Awesome. Wait a minute though. Isn't the idea... It must take an enormous amount of electricity. That's where the fuel is stored. I'm not going to take it. An
Yep.
It's sagging.
Yep.
Unlike his neighbors, this door is hanging open. All I see inside are remnants of stickers and torn photographs. It looks like someone left in a hurry, without even saying goodbye. A row of anonymous could fall apart, maybe in solidarity. We must be very deep underground, and the blades of this fan are barely turning at half speed. That explains why the air down here is almost unbreathable. This rattling contraption is responsible for refreshing the air in this entire room. Playing with it doesn't exactly seem like a brilliant idea. Let's see. Hello. Uma.
Talk that will vary.
The nurse's silhouette seems to fade. I'm afraid that after so many months cooped up in here.
I have no idea. I need to fix that camera, but I don't know how.
I have an excellent view of the hospital compound and the fuel depot from here. It's a shame the camera's film compartment is broken. That wouldn't serve. I'm afraid I can't.
Can I sneak into that park, maybe? Now those guys are gone? Here we go.
The cats have already done their business back there. I'm not gonna bother them. The front door, despite the surveillance... No.
Yeah, need a screwdriver, I know.
This melancholy music makes my hair stand on end. I seem to be hearing the sad voice of Emily in every note. Where are you? How can I find you? Maybe to the pre-Great Wave Michael, but to me, there's nothing of interest in that file cabinet full of old papers. What for? None of these titles means anything at all to me. It's like looking into a mirror and the debris I see various liquid that
Yep.
It's exactly the same view of the park and the statue that appears in the photo on the poster. No doubt this must have been one of my simplest and most lucrative jobs. I completed it without even leaving the house.